George Clooney, worst Batman in history. He was the nipple Batman. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember, like, he was a Batman with the nips and things like that. He was the Batman that was in some cold weather at all times. I want to talk about this, all right? So the Democrats have always had a strategy. The strategy has always been, they get the candidate, the Democrats, although insane, have always been unified, and then they get the Hollywood elites to stand beside them. The third wave of the attack against Joe Biden is already starting, okay? Now the Hollywood elites are starting to come out against Joe Biden. Most notably yesterday, George Clooney calls on Biden to drop out of the race. Let's go to the flashback really quick. This is a mere like 2 weeks after him, George Clooney, Jimmy Kimmel, Barack Obama hold this big benefit to raise money. Remember this video where they have to lead Joe Biden off like a dog, like an elderly dog with cataracts and glaucoma that can't see? Look, he's frozen. Come on, Joe. Come on, we gotta look at this feeble old man walking off the road or walking off the stage. All right, pause. Okay. So we all saw that. And remember how they told us that was a cheap fake. Mm-hmm. It's not real. Yeah. Cheap fake. They even created a fake Urban Dictionary thing about this. But now George Clooney
They invented a word.
They invented a word to make us look like liars. But now George Clooney has come out and said this in a direct quote from the New York Times article. This is George Clooney. George Clooney, worst Batman in history. Quote, the Joe Biden, he was the nipple Batman. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember, he was a Batman with the nips and things like that. He was the Batman that was in some cold weather at all times. You know what I'm saying? them suckers could cut through adamantium of Wolverine claws. I'm telling you, them things were either way. The Joe Biden I was with 3 weeks ago at the fundraiser was not the Joe, quote, big effing deal, end quote, Biden of 2010. He wasn't even the Joe Biden of 2020. He was the same man we all witnessed at the debate.
Ouch.
So here's what's happening, okay? Now, and again, why people aren't furious at George Clooney is beyond me. They're like, okay, Mo, you liar. So you knew the whole time. You knew the whole time that this dude was a geriatric patient pooping his pants and you're leading him across the thing. Mm-hmm. But you say nothing because the Democrats are all a bunch of liars. So this is why Joe Biden is not going to be on the ticket, because now the Hollywood elites are turning out and they're not only saying Joe Biden should step down, they're saying that they've seen it firsthand that this dude is completely gone. And they covered it up. Nobody's mad at George Clooney because of it, but whatever. I'm crazy across the board. But here's the most interesting thing, and this was broken by the Post Millennial literally 10 minutes ago. George Clooney reached out to Obama himself.
Ooh, that's huge.
Before publishing the New York Times op-ed calling for Biden to step down. Zoom in on the quote there at the bottom. Zoom in on it.
Oh.
Yeah, that right there. Zoom in on that. Can we not zoom in?
There we go.
Okay. Quote, while Obama did not encourage or advise Clooney to say what he said, he also didn't object to it.
Wow.
I'm telling you, Barack Obama and Michelle are behind all this stuff. The Obamas are the most powerful people in the DNC. They are.
I agree.
They're the most powerful. Okay. The Clintons, yeah, they are, because they got dirt on everybody. Pelosi's got some weight. Absolutely. Chuck Schumer, yeah, but don't get it twisted. The Obamas run the Democrat Party.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
The fact that just think about it for 5 seconds. George Clooney reached out to Barack Obama before he did this. And he's like, yo, hey, Barack, I'm going to publish this op-ed telling the truth about Joe Biden, that he is completely decrepit. He's lost his mind and he needs to drop out of the race. If Joe Biden wasn't going to be replaced, Barack Obama would have said, no, no, you can't do that. We have to unite behind Joe Biden. We have to be united behind the candidate. But he didn't. He didn't stop it. And not doing anything is the same as doing something.
And this goes back to what we were talking about last week of the power struggle going on between Jill and Hunter Biden pushing pushing the dad to stay in the race with the Obamas. Remember, we've been seeing articles that the Obamas and the Bidens aren't on the same page anymore. So, I mean, this is huge.
Yes, it is huge because this is the third wave, the third wave of the attacks on Joe Biden. We also have some. What is the Charlie tweet here? I forgot.
That's the list of people who.
Oh, okay, yeah. So Charlie Kirk and his team did a great thing. This is the list of people, and this was before the Chuck Schumer stuff broke, or maybe this was after it. Okay, let's zoom in on this just a little bit. Okay, Charlie said, since nobody in the press seems to be making a full list of Democrat power players calling for Joe Biden to quit, his team, today we added George Clooney. Okay, so I don't know if this was before Schumer stuff came out, which you're going to talk about. So Rep Craig Doggart, whatever that word is, Moulton, Quigley, Cheryl Smith, Nadler, so Jerry Nadler, the penguin himself, Joe Morrell, other Democrats calling for Biden to step aside, James Corville, Netflix founder Ree Hastings, Walmart Harris, Christy Walton, Lawrence Lessing, George Clooney, Rob Reiner, Jon Stewart, Stephen King, Michael Moore, Atlanta Journal Constitutional Editorial Board, New York Times Editorial Board, left-wing New York Times opinion columnist Nicholas Kristof, Tom Friedman, Paul Krugman, Frank Bruni, and David French. Dear Lord, what a decrepit human being David French is. The Atlantic, Boston Globe Editorial Board, New Yorker Editorial Board, multiple CNN analysts, George Stephanopoulos, elected officials publicly saying Biden will lose or likely lose, but not quite calling for Joe Biden to step down. Senator Michael Bennet, Senator Richard Blumenthal, quote, I am deeply concerned about President Biden. Representative Mary Glusenkamp Perez. Why do Democrats have weird names? Anyway, all right. Rep. Jared Golden calling for cognitive tests on both candidates. Nancy Pelosi even saying, quote, calling for a soul searching from the Biden camp. The Washington Post editorial board. Democrat donors pausing giving. All right, we're going to talk about that in a minute. Abigail Disney, an heiress to the Disney fortune, plans to withhold donations to Democrats until Joe Biden drops out. Gideon Stein said he's decided to pause planned donations of $3.5 million. Carla Jurvenstein, a major Democrat donor, hinted it recently as Tuesday in a private donor call that she agrees with the sentiment on pausing donations until Biden stepped down. She gave $30 million in 2020. Hollywood Democrat mega donor Ari Emanuel, I had a father who died at 92, but at 81, I took away his car. It's a very simple test for me. Nameless donors told Politico the event of recent days have put at risk House and Senate Democrats, and we feel it around the country. Clearly, Democrat donors are looking down at the ballot candidates to try to salvage the House or Senate. They also told Variety there is a sense that the money dried up last night, about 10 minutes into the debate. And then Charlie said, who did they miss?
You know what this list does to me? Or to me, it just pisses me off because all these people have known for a long time that Joe has been on the decline. I mean, two rednecks and a Mexican, and I don't know what to call you, Royce.
Whoa!
But you know,
whoa, hold on, wait a minute. Whoa, did you?
We've been talking about his decline for a long time, and they're in the inner circle of it. All these people have no balls whatsoever. They're just strolling him around like an old man, just letting him do his thing. I mean, and they've put us in a position as a country, as a weak country, and it just pisses me off.
It's because Bill O'Reilly was right. The decision has been made, and all these other political pundits, I'm telling you, they're wrong. The decision, I may be wrong about Friday, and I'll give you that, okay? It's looking like, but tonight may be a horrific disaster, and I still may be right. We'll see. But the decision has already been made that Joe Biden's getting rid of, okay? And you look at the mounting and stacking things. Everybody's like, but AOC came up. At the end of the day, AOC has no power in the Democrat Party.
Yeah, Hillary Sisson also made a tweet, but I don't think that's changing anything.
Yeah, I mean, granted, that's a major blow for Biden, dropping out because Harry Sisson Girl Pants said that, he's doing great. But the people that are coming behind Joe Biden in support, they have no power in the Democrat Party. Not really. They toe the line and they will do what they's told to do. And what you're seeing right now is a very concentrated effort, slowly, gradually, snowball effect mounting. If Biden looks weak tonight, wait till tomorrow. Wait till tomorrow. Watch what happens. If Biden looks weak tonight, and we'll be paying attention to this, if Biden looks weak tonight, I would not be shocked if it is an all-out war.
I remember we had that. Was that an elected official that said, "Watch what happens this weekend"? Yeah. Watch what comes out this weekend. Who was that said? I don't remember who was it that said it. But anyways,
Manchin.
Was it? Okay, yeah. So very interested to see what happens after what Joe speaks again and what happens this weekend. So.
I would not be shocked if it's bad because he had that taped interview with Stephanopoulos and it did not go great. I do not see any world where Joe Biden. It's 5 o'clock our time, but I think it's way past 8 o'clock wherever he's at. And so I don't think it's going to go well. And I think you're going to see a horrific storm come Monday morning. I really do.